Hello, hello. Okay, I'm gonna give it a just a few minutes. Somebody somebody once said, I don't even know, I'm saying somebody, but I know you've heard this statement. If you're not early, you're late. Well, I'm that person who struggles with being on time too, but I don't want to delay this live too long. Oh, wait, you know what? I just realized the thing that I am giving away, I forgot to get it. So y'all just hold on a second. And I'm back. Okay. Okay. So I'm not going to reveal it just yet, but I want to see if anybody else comes on. Hi, Rena. You are the only one that's here. Oh, wait, you and two other people. Okay. So I do not endeavor to be before you long. This is not going to be a long, drawn out live that lasts for an hour. My goal for starting this particular challenge is to help people to sort of focus in on their hair goals and establish a plan for how to get to where you want to go. Now, the challenge is lasting 2 weeks, but your personal challenge is not 2 weeks. You're not going to like grow 6 inches of hair in 2 weeks, obviously. The point is to kickstart the challenge so that you can establish what goal you want to focus on for this year. And then in 2 weeks, I'll come back again and do another live. And what we'll do is we will do sort of like a Q&A, and then we'll go like a little further out, maybe like 3 months. And we'll do it every 3 months. We'll do like a check-in, or maybe every other month, we'll do a check-in on how like you're doing with your goals. So as I said before, hi, A. Matthias. As I said before, only the people who showed up live will be entered to win the giveaway, which I'm going to review in a moment. But before we get started on the hair goals discussion, I want you to be able to download a PDF that I'm going to put it in the chat. It's in the description of the video, but let me just add a link here in the chat where you can download the guide. And essentially what this is it is a very, very simple document where you can map out your hair goals. You literally, it's so simple. And oops, sorry, I accidentally clicked on something that I shouldn't have. What it will do is it will help you to determine like what your goals should be for this next quarter, this next 6 months, this next year. Obviously, the longer term your goal, the more focused you're going to have to be. And it's going to require you to check in regularly with your goals to see, are you doing what it takes to get there? Have you slacked off a little bit? We all slack off. All of us slack off. Now, before I go into the document that I just linked in the chat, I want to discuss with you my own personal hair goals, because like I've been all over the place myself. And what I will say is that, like, so for my hair, I have had an extensive history of like, I want to do this with my hair. No, I want to do that with my hair. I want to focus. I want waist hair. Okay, so my hair, as you can see right now, it doesn't even go all the way in the frame. When I bring my hair down, I'm going to have to stand up for this just to give the visual, and ignore my Christmas decorations, because for real, I'd be taking forever to take stuff down. But so my waist is right here. My hair from the side is just shy of my waist, right? So, but that's the back of my hair. When I reach it from the back, which is going to be so hard to do, but when I reach it from the back, it does reach down to like just grazing my waist. But in the front of my hair, as you can see here in the front, this is not very, very long at all. It only reaches to like here, which is, it's longer than armpit, but it's not the same as the back of my hair. So the goal that I have for myself that I am focusing on for this year it's not to get my hair all one length, because in order to get your hair all one length, it would actually be uneven, because the hair that's growing from here has to travel a longer way than hair that's, say, down here. So down here may measure at, like, say, 18 inches, but then up here may only measure at 10. But it's not that this is growing longer. It's just that this takes a longer time to grow from the scalp down to reach with this. This has to be a longer length in general for everything to fall evenly. And I know you've probably seen people who, like, they have all of their hair is the same, looks like it's the same length. It's not that their hair is the same length. It's just it's falling to the same length versus falling in layers like mine is. So the goal that I have for myself this year is to get my hair to fall all to the same length. That's going to require cutting it. And I know I used to say, I'm never going to cut my hair in big chunks. It's not going to be like, I didn't want to do any like big chops or anything like that, because let's face it, when you get older, your rate of hair growth does slow down. I just turned 56 on Wednesday, and it takes years for hair to grow. Let's just keep it real. It takes years. But what I am not going to do is cut it myself. Like that I'm not doing that. I finally found a natural hair salon in New York, literally natural hair salon. They're in Long Island. My daughter has gone to them like maybe 4 or 5 times. I was letting her be the guinea pig, and she's gotten the silk press. She's gotten um, natural hairstyles done. They do a beautiful, fantastic job. They are very expensive, but I feel like in order to get my hair where I need to be, I need a professional to come in. Like, I may know how to maintain the length, I know how to grow it out, but I don't know how to grow it out that it falls all the same, if that makes sense. Like, so yes, I still have a goal of waist length hair, but I want that goal to be where everything is falling to the same length, or the appearance of being the same length. Again, the top is going to have to grow much further to reach the bottom. So I actually have an appointment next month to go and get my hair evaluated, to get, she's gonna I'm gonna silk press it because it's just easier, and it's still cold, so I can enjoy that silk press style. But I'm gonna have her go in, they steam your hair, they do all these wonderful things, and then I'm just going to let her do what she has to do. And then what I will probably do is go once per quarter, or maybe every 5 months. It just really depends on how my hair does, to kind of like dust it up and to, kind of maintain that bulky length that I'm looking to achieve. So that's my hair goal. If you will, put what your hair goal is in the chat. And remember, it's not always about length. Your hair goal really could be to maintain and establish a regimen that you're consistent with. Like, it's not just about length. Your hair goal could be actually to just maintain the length that you have. Your hair goal could be like, maybe you feel like your hair always looks dusty and dry, and you want to maintain hair that's just moisturized. You want to maintain hair that kind of like keeps that shine. So I'm going to help you walk through the document. But if you know what your hair goal is, stick it in there. Celine, maintain healthy hair is a really good goal, but you have to be more specific. That's one thing with us. Like, when we set goals, in order to really reach that ultimate goal of maintaining healthy hair, you have to be very specific about what you need to do to get the healthy hair. So what is it that you think you need to get to healthy hair? Is it that your hair is breaking, so that's why it's unhealthy? Is it drying out too fast? Is that why it's unhealthy? Is it, you feel like your hair is at a length and it's stalled? There's many reasons for why your hair could be considered not healthy. Do you have a lot of split ends? Like, there's some things that you can do that you can achieve healthy hair like immediately. Like, for example, if you use heat a lot, simply putting the flat iron down, putting down the things that damage our hair will automatically help you to have healthier hair. You may need to go in and cut some inches if you've created some damage. So it's really being very specific Um, I've been considering the same. Rena says, I'm considering the same. Get a cut to shape, especially the same length, and grow it to bra strap. Right. So that's kind of like similar to like my goal, getting it to I hate saying even because it's hair is not going to be even, with the different like levels where it has to grow from. But it can be what is the word? It could fall to the same level. All of it can fall to the same level. So that means now, if you think strategically about it, let's just say, for example, you want shoulder length hair. For all of your hair to be shoulder length, the top of your hair has to be longer than the bottom of your hair. Because if this top travels down and it's 12 inches to hit shoulder length, that means this little bit here may only need to be 5 inches. So it's not ever really going to be the same length, but you can have everything fall evenly. Um, Celine says, my hair is healthy right now. What my regimen works. So I just want to continue what I'm doing to maintain it. Okay. So it's not that, right. So your hair is healthy. You don't need to do anything, but it sounds like to me, but consistency with your routine, consistency with your regimen. And so, we're facing, this is the winter time. Well, at least in my part, I don't know where you guys are from. If you want to drop that in the chat, I'm in New York. It is freezing. It's cold, and we're actually about to get a snowstorm. So that's interesting. It's going to be very, very cold. And part of protecting our hair when we go outdoors, yes, you can protective style, but one thing I noticed that I think is so, so helpful is if you wear hats, definitely you want to wear a hat that's satin lined. But I don't wear hats because hats give me a headache. So what I do is, like, let's say I'm wearing my hair out and I want to wear my hair out at my destination. It's so easy to then take the bulk of my hair, fold it up, take a satin scarf, tie it around, and literally just protect the ends. Like, you don't have to protect all of the hair when you're outside, but protecting the ends is so critical if you have a goal of length retention. So you could take a satin scarf, a silk scarf, tie it around, and even if you're wearing curls, you can still do that and keep it secured like this. Or you could even take a satin or a silk scrunchie, loosely secure it while you're commuting and going about your business until you get to your destination. Then, take it all out. So that's one thing you can do. Um, I have a guide on hair goals. There's so many different hair goals that you could work towards achieving, from, having your scalp. Some people have scalp issues. Their goal is not necessarily for the hair, but it's for the scalp. And obviously, what you do with your scalp is going to impact how your hair grows in. And one of the things I want to give an example, like I want to use skincare as an example, just because it's easier to sort of explain. For me, when I was in my 30s, I had terrible cystic acne. Like, it wasn't really obvious up front, but if you got really close, I would have these little tiny hard cystic pimples in my face. And they were hard. It wasn't like a pimple you could squeeze. It was very difficult to get rid of that. But I did get rid of that. And one way I did that was obviously my skincare regimen and the routine that I did to follow to help it to really start to not just clear up, but to prevent it from the pores getting clogged again. Because that's essentially what cystic acne is. The pores are very clogged, and then the pimples come to the surface, and they get a little thing over it, and all of that gunk gets trapped. So the same is with your scalp. Your scalp is hair. Excuse me, it's skin. So if your scalp is clogged, then it's going to be a very difficult time for you to grow out hair that's not just healthy, but to grow it out in general. So if you use a lot of products, let's say, for example, you use a lot of butters and oils, you want to make sure that you focus that or maybe from here down, not so much on the scalp. Keep the scalp really, really clear of your heavy butters and oils. Yes, you can massage your scalp with oils, but I really believe that when you use a scalp massager and you're scalp massaging and you're using oils, it should be a very lightweight fluid oil that penetrates very easily and doesn't sit on the scalp and cause buildup. So, like jojoba oil is really, really good for that because jojoba oil is very much like the sebum that comes from your scalp. So, it doesn't build up on the scalp, it doesn't clog the pores. Coconut oil, however, and this is my experience, is not really good to put on the scalp. Coconut oil, I know a lot of people have an aversion to it and they feel like coconut oil is not really good because it makes their hair feel dry. I have found the best way, and to me, in my opinion, the only way to use coconut oil is not as a sealant, but as a pre-poo because you're washing it out. When you put coconut oil in your hair and you're working it through, and let's say you want to sit under heat for a little bit, and then you go in and you hop in the shower or whatever, and you shampoo your hair out, you are protecting your hair from hygro fatigue, which is a form of damage that occurs when you shampoo and when you wash your hair, because when water enters the hair shaft expands and contracts. That expanding and contracting motion is what can potentially cause damage. So it's not like something that can happen all the time, but it's always a risk. So coconut oil is really good for like penetrating the hair shaft and helping prevent that hygro fatigue. So I think that's the only way to use coconut oil. I know some people do use coconut oil and they seal, but I have low porosity hair. I'm speaking from a low porosity hair perspective. That coconut oil just sits right on top of the hair and it makes the hair feel really dry. And so I feel it's counterproductive to use coconut oil in that way. Pre-poo and pre-poo only. But that's my opinion. Okay. Now, let's say, hi, Miss Jazzy. Let's see. Let me go here. Matthias says my goal is to establish more moisture balance and less shedding. Yes. So shedding is also something, obviously, it's natural. Some people may think they're shedding too much when they're actually shedding normal. The way to really tell, first off, how often do you detangle? If you're detangling every day, which you should not be doing because that's creating excess, manipulation. But let's say you're detangling once a week on wash day or once every 2 weeks even, especially if you protect the style, you don't need to detangle that often. Hair sheds approximately 50 to 100 hairs per day. That sounds like an awful lot. However, imagine if you have your hair in a ponytail, a bun, or braids twist, and you don't do anything to your hair until wash day a week or 2 weeks later. All of that hair that shed is now trapped. So when you go to detangle, it may look like you're taking tons and tons of hair out, but in actuality, you have to remember 50 to 100 hairs a day. Now, if you go to comb your hair or finger detangle your hair after 2 or 3 days and you're losing clumps, then obviously that's excessive. There are so many natural remedies that you can try, but if natural remedies don't work for you, I'm going to be very honest, it is really good to see a dermatologist. And for women of color, I would suggest seeing a dermatologist who is well versed in people of color because I've had the experience of seeing a dermatologist, not for my hair, for my skin. And I'm going to just keep it real. This person was Caucasian, and the things they were saying were not vibing with me because, like, I'm a woman of color. Like, certain things, like, I'm going to give you an example. My son was dealing with some issues, and she was like, put coconut oil and massage it all in his scalp. And I listened, and guess what? He was getting dandruff. It was getting worse. Like, I feel like if you're going to see a dermatologist, see one who is well versed in your nationality. I'll just say that. Okay, so now for those who came in a little bit after, there's a link to a file. If you scroll up, and it's to what is this thing called? To a document that will help you to figure out and how to map out plans for your hair goal. I gave an example of my hair goal, which is to maintain the bulk of my length, and I'm going to get it cut professionally. And I say cut because I don't really know that she's going to trim. I'm guesstimating based on what my hair goal is that she's probably going to take off about maybe that much, maybe that much. And matter of fact, I'm not going to let her take off more than that much. That's just how it is. But it may be less. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the professional. I just know I don't know how to trim hair so that it's nice and neat, but I do know how to maintain the length once it starts growing in. One of the things that I'm going to be doing also is once my hair is cut to where I want it to, to maintain that bulk. I'm going after because it will be a silk press after she does it. I'm going straight into twists. And when I say straight into twists, I mean I'm going to go into twists where I maintain them for 3 weeks, take them out, wash, put them back in. Because the goal is to reduce how much time I manipulate my hair, like completely reduce the amount of manipulation that I do. Because what happens is, let's say you go to the salon, you get your hair trimmed, you get it cut, you loving it. Oh yeah, I'm wearing my hair out, I'm doing all the things. And then before you know it, these ends are looking raggedy all over again because you're doing too much. So if length is a goal, if retention is a goal, you have to do less. Start with some clean ends, do less, and maintain the moisture. So one of the things I have done for many years, if you're not new to the channel, I would do double sealing, which is basically after my hair is washed and clean and everything, and I twist it or braid it, I would seal my ends with a light gel, which fuses them together. The gel should not have alcohol in it. I would recommend flaxseed gel or aloe vera gel. I started out with Eco Styler, but there's just too many chemicals in that. So I would recommend the flaxseed gel or the aloe vera gel, and then a really heavy butter on the ends or Jamaican black castor oil. That really helps protect the ends from splitting, especially now that it is cold, it's wintertime, and our hair is exposed to the elements. Let me just go in here and look at the comments for a section. Definitely Des says, are bonding treatments more effective than protein treatments for treated heat trained hair? I press my hair every 6 weeks and keep it straight for 2 weeks. My goals are length retention and protein moisture balance. Okay. Here's the hard thing I'm going to say here. Every 6 weeks, pressing your hair is way too much if you're looking for length retention. It's too much. It's too much heat on the hair. Even someone who has really thick strands should not be pressing their hair every 6 weeks. That's really, really very often. And what can happen is, so what's happening is every time you apply heat to your hair, you're weakening the bonds of the hair. Now, protein treatments and bond maintenance treatments, they work in a similar fashion, but slightly different. And it's really hard for me to explain it because so I would use henna in place of protein treatments, and that kept my hair very, very strong. Not everybody feels they can use henna because, one, they don't want the color deposit. You could add henna to a tablespoon or two of henna to a deep conditioner, and that could give you some strengthening properties like a protein treatment would as well. However, like a bond maintenance treatment like Olaplex, perfect example. Whenever I straighten my hair, I use Olaplex. The reason I use Olaplex products because Olaplex really works on the hair shaft, the bonds of the hair shaft to strengthen those bonds. Protein treatments can do the same, but again, there's different types of protein treatments. And if you don't really know the type of protein treatment that your hair needs, your hair can really, really start to feel hard because if you have too much protein, then what happens is your hair feels hard and it feels dry. If you have not, or you may need to balance it with moisture. That's another thing. Whenever you do a protein treatment, you really should balance the hair with moisture. When I use Olaplex, I don't then go in and use a deep conditioner that doesn't have protein on top of it. I just use the Olaplex because it is balanced. So I don't know if that answers the question. Let me see. Spiritual Being says, my hair goals for 2025 is to reach thigh length. Ow, that would be my goal too, girl. But I got ways to go. So That's here, whatever it is. You says it reaches mid back right now. I just need to maintain my regimen. I finally have less shed hair under control. Niagara, Ontario, Canada. Yes, welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, mid back to thigh in 2025 is, I don't mean to rain on your parade, is highly unlikely. And the reason being, hair grows on average half an inch a month. And then you must take into consideration there will be a little bit of breakage. That's just the wear and tear of our hair. So imagine, okay, I'm past mid back length, right? I'm trying to see if I can like do this here. Like it's really hard to, yeah, it's not easy for me. Okay, my hair when I stretch it down, it's like down, it's right here if I pull it down. My thigh though, look how far I'd have to go from here to here. That is over 12 inches of hair. Unless you have some super genes in your family where your hair's growing 2 inches a month, it's highly unlikely. It's not a goal that you can't achieve. You can achieve that, but what you would have to do is just be a little bit more realistic with your timing. So maybe the end of 2026 may be more realistic if you're starting at mid back length. Now, if you were waist length and you said I wanted to be thigh length by the end of 2025, that might be realistic. But you just have to take into consideration that you have, that half an inch a month on average that your hair is going to grow. Even if it grows an inch a month, you have to trim your ends, and you're going to have some natural wear and tear breakage. It's just the nature of our hair, and it's the cycle. Also, there's a cycle of hair growth. There's different phases where certain parts of your hair is in a resting phase and it's not growing, it's just resting. And then there's certain sections of your hair that's in a shedding phase. Then there's certain sections of your hair is predominantly in a growing phase, but there's always these phases that we have to also take into consideration when we're trying to reach length goals. It takes a very long time to reach long lengths. Like if you look at any of the like YouTubers here who have hair that's down to like their thighs and hips, a few come to mind, Lindsay, Chris. Like it took years and years and years. So, it's something definitely to aspire toward. It's just really good to be realistic so you don't get disappointed either. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't map out how to get there. So let's just, because it seems like most of us have this like um goal of healthy hair. I'm just going to use, I don't like to use the goal of longer hair just because for some it may seem like it's an impossible goal to achieve, which it really isn't. It's just that it takes a long time. Let's focus on, okay, let's say healthy hair. What do we want to do to have healthy hair? Well, on that paper, let's see. I need to get more well versed with, oh, you know what? I think I just figured it out. I want to pull up the document. Let me pull up the document because then I can share my screen. You should be able to download the document and follow along anyway. But let me just, I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to share my screen. Wait, hold on. Let me find it. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. I'm so new to the sharing of screen stuff. I think it's this one. Yep. There we go. Boom. I think I'm sharing the screen, right? Yes, I'm sharing the screen. I feel so official right now. Okay. All right. So this is what we want to do. On this screen, let's see. Can I scroll on it? I can't scroll on this screen. I have to go over here and scroll. Okay. Here we have, it's monthly goal planning. So we're going to focus on 1 month at a time. Yes, here we go. 1 month at a time. And the things that make up you reaching your hair goals, there's different buckets, the different categories that will, as you see in the middle, it says hair goals to focus on. So your hair health, your routines, your budget, because let's face it, certain products you have to buy or certain ingredients, if you're DIYing, it costs money. So you have to take that into consideration as well. Specific products if you want to, what you want to focus on. Let's say, okay, let's go back to Olaplex. Um, you're saying like, okay, I want to strengthen my hair, but I know I need to use a bond maintenance treatment, or I need to use certain um, protein treatments. You want to list out your top three. You don't want to use too many products at once because then you don't know what's working. So I would focus on one or two products in a given category. Given category being your deep conditioner, your protein treatment, your sealant, your shampoo, whatever those products are. And you can print this out more than once, obviously, if you need to add your hair inspirations. I think that as it relates to reaching any goal, it's really important to have something to aspire toward, to be inspired by. For me, I've had several inspirations over the years. I don't know, she doesn't really make videos anymore, but Mahogany Curls was one of my biggest hair inspirations for so many years, right? So I know a lot of you also know Natural 85. However, she's not one of my hair inspirations. And the reason why, it's not that her hair isn't beautiful, it's because we have such a completely different type of hair and texture of hair. My hair is so fine. Her hair is so thick and dense. I feel like I would, and I'm just keeping it real, I would be a little bit covetous, or I would feel a little down that I'm not reaching the goals that I want for myself based on someone who has a total different head of hair. So find hair inspirations who have a similar type of hair as yours that you could aspire towards. Let me go to this next page, or further down. Styling. So hairstyles. You may need, based on your hair goal, to have one or two go-to hairstyles. You don't want to do too much. The more manipulating you do, the more breakage you incur. Hair is a fiber and it needs to be preserved. And to preserve it, you have to handle it less. Hair tools. What are you going to be using to reach your hair goals? How are you? Okay, I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. Let's say you have a hair goal. You want to be a straight trained natural. Okay, to be straight trained, obviously you're going to be straightening your hair more often. But to straighten your hair more often, you definitely need to be using quality tools. You need a quality hair dryer that you may not want to be straight trained. Maybe you want to just be blown out, a blowout natural. Let's say maybe you want a Rev Air, or you want a dryer, a Dyson, or something that really stretches your hair in a gentle way that doesn't cause damage. So you want to focus on the hair tools you're going to use. Are you going to be using a detangling brush? Are you going to be using your fingers to detangle? It really depends on your hair goal, and you need to literally put thought into what hair tools am I going to use to help me reach my goals, with that hair tools that don't cause damage. Self-care, let's take that back up. Self-care. At the end of the day, ladies, what we do to our hair, when we do it, it is a form of self-care. I know for me, when I decide I'm going to wash my hair, I'm going to take the time. I'm not spending time scrolling. I'm That's just me. Some people, relaxation for you may be scrolling while you got your deep conditioner on. That's not me. For me, how I help to reach my hair goals, caring for my hair, is to sit with my conditioner on. Maybe I might have on music. Maybe I may be reading my Bible. It all depends on what resonates with you. So the whole point of this page is really to help you see everything in one place. So seeing the hairstyles you want to focus on, the hair tools, the self-care, how you want to go about your self-care, the products you're going to use, the budget you're going to allocate towards buying those products, your hair inspirations, and so forth. Then on the third page is your actual planner. Here, there's 3 goals, because you may have more than one goal. If you only have one, just ignore the rest, or use the bottom step sections to complete, what you want to do. Your start date, I guess you could call it today, or if you started already, put another date. And it says done. Your done may be a year from now, to be honest. It may not be. You could ignore that for now, or you could put a target date, not necessarily check off when it's done, but actually put a date where you're targeting to have reached your goals, because you want to be checking in with yourself. You want to be checking in to see if you're being consistent with your routines. So, for example, if you're someone who wants to be a straight hair natural or a blowed out natural, then realistically for your hair, I'll say for my hair, I'm going to give the example based on my own hair. The timing may be different for you. But for me, if I want to be a blowout natural, I know I need to wash my hair and deep condition my hair every 3 weeks at the minimal. I don't need to do it once a week because that's too much blowing out. That's just too much. I use a Rev Air. Every 3 weeks is fine for me. And during that time, I know I'm going to blow my hair out. I know that I need to examine my ends every time. So that would be my steps. After I wash my hair, I'm blowing it out. I'm examining my ends. I'm trimming off knots if I see any knots. I am double sealing my ends. If we go back to, let's say my style, like I mentioned before on this page, oops, sorry. I think okay, yeah, I pretty much messed up. Yeah, whatever. Let's pretend, well, anyway, you guys get I'm going to close that. But that page is linked all the way at the top of this feed. You can download it. But again, I know that for me, I've got to examine my ends. It's like, okay, my ends are looking a little bit raggedy, but I am blowing my hair out more often. So I may need to take into a little dusting. I wouldn't do a big trim, but I need to do some dusting. I also know that when I'm twisting my hair, because I am stretching it out and I'm doing twists and braids, I need to double seal. So I'd have to list that. Don't forget to double seal your ends. So you see how that works. You can basically just go through and determine the steps you need to take to reach the goal. And you can be very micro with your steps, or you could be a little bit more broad, as long as you know that it helps you to get to the next level. Let me see here. Oh, Darlene Rivera is asking if anyone can recommend a good shower filter. Darlene, I honestly think that there are many good shower filters. I got mine from Home Depot. I went in Home Depot, I looked it up. What you could do is you could go to, let's say, Home Depot if you have one, or Amazon or wherever, and read reviews. That's the biggest thing. Read reviews, read what people have to say, and avoid those reviews that say like they gave it a 1 star because it arrived broken. Like, that's not telling you how the thing works. Like, things happen in transit. So that's not a good review. But you can definitely, okay, so A. Matthias says she uses Aquasana shower head filter. So there's one. Like, definitely go off of reviews. So now, if you have any questions, drop them in there. What we're going to do is, after you've established your hair goals and you map out the steps, take it, put it, if you're a paper planner like I am, I love planning in my actual planner by paper. Just keep it where you'll see it all the time, because it's so easy to sit down, go through an exercise, map out goals, map out steps, put it to the side, and never think about it ever again. Like, I've done that. So don't want to do that. You want to put that page or those pages where you see it regularly. You may even need to put a reminder on your phone that says, check in with my hair goals, check in with whatever, reminder to do certain things, because we forget. We're human. We forget. Now, the next step in the process, for all of those of you who showed up, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, definitely stick them in the chat. I want to now share with you the giveaway that I'm doing, because you showed up and because you're taking action on your hair goals and you're showing commitment. I want to gift someone. I'm just going to do a random thing here. I'm going to let the random person pick the number of, actually, this is what I need for each of you to do right now, because this will make it easier. I just need you to drop a number in the chat and then follow the next person. So one person starts with one person starts with two. We're a small enough group that we could do that. So Rena puts 2. Don't put the same number as someone else. Put another number. Yes. Thank you, Miss Jazzy. Because to me, the most important thing in your hair care routine is deep conditioning. I will be gifting someone, not this one's mine, but a deep conditioning cap. There have been the microwavable types. I've used those. I am a big fan of the old corded. I prefer a corded deep conditioning cap because to me, the heat is more consistent. When you use a deep conditioning cap that is microwaved or heated in that way, it's very, very inconsistent. I got so many fives in here, like y'all, you're moving too slow. Just put a different number. Yeah, okay. Yeah, put a different number. And so deep conditioning being like to me the most important thing you could do to your hair ever besides pray over it is that's like so important, which is why I want to gift that. Now, when when the person is chosen, it may not be this design, it may be a different design, but actually what I'll do is I'll reach out to you and then I'll let you pick your own design. That's fair. So yeah, these numbers, let me see. 5, okay, definitely Des. I need, okay, let me see. I'm trying to see who 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Darlene did a 6. Wait, Matthias did 8. Okay, I'm seeing this. Definitely Des. I need you to change your number, please. Put a 9. That's easy. Stick a 9 in there. That way I can see like Happy New Year, Emily. And then what we're going to do is in a couple of weeks, we'll come back and we'll just check in and see how's everybody doing with their hair goals. Like, how are you being consistent? Are you taking the necessary steps to reach your hair goals? Also, if you look in the description after the live chat is over, there's some other resources that I put in the description box if you want to check those out. Okay, so I'm trying to see. Did anybody put a 1? I feel like nobody used the number 1. We got 16 people on this live. I should see 16 numbers at the very least. If not, going once. I want to give you guys time so that we can add up everything. So funny. I'm telling y'all though, I'm gonna miss my hair. So I know I'm gonna miss it when she goes to go in and like does what she does. Like this salon is I've when I tell you the mistake I made last time was I went to somebody just based on one person saying, "Oh yeah, she's really good. She knows how to do natural hair." And I get there and y'all know, those of y'all who seen my video after it was done and how my hair looked, it was a mess. It looked terrible and it hasn't grown back the same. Like it's grown, yes, but it was a mess. Like I feel like I think she knew how to cut white women's hair really, really well. And she was a woman of color too. But, Rena, it really depends on like after she washes it, blows it out, and straightens it, it really depends on how much of my ends are see-through and how much of it is like falling at the bulk because I want it to start like growing like this together, right? Reaching the longer lengths, but at the same, the bulk of my ends. Like when I was pregnant with my daughter, oh my God, like let me show you. Let's say this is the ends of my hair. When I was pregnant, oh my God, my ends stayed like so thick and full. That is my goal. I want my ends to look so full on the end. So yeah, that's gonna require some cutting. I get it, but I'm going to a girl who I looked at her Instagram feed. I looked at how she did her work. I was like, that's it. And then plus my daughter has gone to the salon. Actually, the funny name is the salon is called I Am Nubian. So if you're in New York or you just want to check them out on Instagram, I Am Nubian is the name of the salon. And while they are about an hour and 15-minute drive from me, I'm just going to I'm going to do it because I know I need the attention. I need the attention. All right. So, all All right, we got 15 people here. I don't see 15 numbers, y'all. I need y'all to stick some numbers in the chat so we can do this giveaway. Because I'm gonna go to the random person. I'm gonna go to the random. What's the name? Emily, I know how you feel, girl. Seriously, but I'm gonna just take the leap. I'm just taking the leap because I've seen the work. I've seen her work. I've seen their work. I see how they have repeat customers. The only thing I did not like, and it has nothing to do with actual hair, is that it's their policies and procedures. In order to book my appointment, I had to pay half for the service up front. That part I did not love. And if I was to cancel, even if I canceled a month in advance, I'd lose 30%. So definitely I'm going, I don't care if I get COVID, like, like I ain't getting COVID, but I'm just saying for losing that, I'm showing up. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna get there. I want it to be nice and blunt, and I want it to just grow at that blunt level. So, all right. So since we don't have, even though we got 17 people here, y'all not putting numbers in the chat, I'm gonna just, because I don't want to keep y'all too long. Let me see. We got only numbers from 1 to 9, it looks like. I don't see any number above 9. If you have not put a number in the chat yet, start from number 10. Add your number to the chat if you want to be entered to win the deep conditioning cap. And for honesty's sake, well, I'm honest regardless, but I want y'all to see when I pick the number. I'm gonna go to the random.org. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. Did anybody put? No. All right, we at 1 to 9. That's what it is. I don't see 16 thumbs up either. Oh, thank you. There's 18 people here now. 18 people. There should be 18 numbers in the chat. Starting with number 10. If you're here and you want to go and put a number in if you want to be entered for the giveaway. Now there's 17. It is what it is. No, Jamila, we started. Don't do 6. Add number 10 because we have someone already put 6. Oh, Jamila. Hopefully I'm not mispronouncing your name. I want we're doing it like in order. So 9 was the last number. So number 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever, going forward, so that we'll have an even, everybody has a unique number, that is, rather. So if you could just change that 6 to a 10. Amen. Why is taking so long? No. All right. I'm going to do this random situation. Hold up. Where we go? Share my screen. Random.org. Okay, there we go. Share. I first need. Okay, she retracted her number. Maybe she's going to put the 10 in. I'm going to hold just till she finishes entering her number. There's now, okay, 10. Perfect. Okay, so we got 10 people. Boom. I'm going to go to random.org and put from 1 to 10. And we're going to click generate. And whoever got this number will win. Number 6. Okay, who was number 6? Let's see. Number 6. Where are you? I'm trying to scroll up in the trying to see who number 6 was. Darn it. Number 6 was, I am having trouble scrolling down in this chat. Like, why? This is the one thing I don't like about. Number 6 was Darlene. It looks like it was Darlene. Yes, Darlene Rivera. You, my friend, have won the deep conditioning cap. Yes, Darlene. Okay, Darlene, I need you to email me. You might be on my mailing list too. I'm not sure. No. So after I get the trim, Rena, after I get the trim, shaping, whatever, I am going to I will lightly blow it out every 3 weeks. Like lightly, like, because I just want to stretch it some and then install the twist. I do not like when I put twists in my hair and it's done on wet hair, shrunken up. It causes a lot of tangles. So I will lightly stretch it out. That may not necessarily mean blowing it out though, because I do want to limit heat. Instead, what I will likely do is, because my hair is so fine and I have a very loose texture of hair in the back here, it's a little tighter in the crown. I can actually get away with, after I wash my hair, blow it really, I can stretch my hair and band it. And once I take the bands out, my hair is really pretty stretched. And then I'll proceed to twist. So that'll be really, really easy. Darlene, you sound just like me. I won $100 Amazon gift card the other day from someone. And I was like, oh my God, I never win anything. Darlene, I need you to email me. You might be on my mailing list. Do you know my email address? Michelle at Fine Natural Hair and Faith. Thanks, Emily. Have a blessed day. Darlene, if you know my email address, Michelle at Financial and Faith, just email me, because I want you to be able to pick out the deep conditioning cap that you want, the design, the style that you want, so that I can send it to you right away. Okay. Other than that, let me just type my email address, because I don't want it to be, oops, there we go. That's my email address. Darlene, if you will email me with your address, and yeah, I will get that right out to you. Okay, so we're done here now. What I will do is, in a couple of weeks, I'll come back in, check with you guys on see how you're doing with your hair goals, and we'll go a little bit deeper. Also, if you're not on my mailing list, girl, why? I'm just saying. I'm putting my newsletter is evolving a lot. It has a lot of content in it now, and it has a lot of information that can help you with not just your hair goals, but other things. If you're a believer, growing in Christ, so much. So join my mailing list. First, for those of you who didn't get the download earlier, I'm going to put that's the download right there. The next thing, hold on. Also, oh my goodness, guys, I redid my I redid everything concerning my newsletter. I need y'all to see I'm official tissue now. Here is a link to sign up to the newsletter. And oh my goodness, it's such a beautiful page. I love the page. I designed it myself. But no, seriously. In 2 weeks, we'll come back here and we will start like answering any questions you might have about your goals. And if there's anything we need to hammer out, if you need me to help you brainstorm anything, I am here at your disposal. Now, I am going to go and put my hair up. Look, I have so much texture happening now. I straightened my hair last week, but it may be time to like give it up because I sweat so much, because I do Pilates and I go and I do boxing and all that stuff. But anyway, thank you so much, Rena. Thank you for the happy birthday. Can y'all believe I'm 56 years old? I can't believe it. Like, child. When I hit 60 though, I'm gonna tell y'all, my goal for 60, and that's like a ways off, but my goal is to be fit and trim, my hair long so where I want it to be. Well, my skin is already clear. Thank God I reached that goal. But the rest, like I have so many personal self-care goals, and it's not for vanity's sake. Like, I just want to add that. It's not for vanity's sake. It's honestly appreciating the body and the life that God gave you. It's really that simple. All right, let me go. Let me let y'all go. I hope you have a very blessed rest of your Saturday. Bye.